Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We have a full schedule this afternoon, and to get us started, I would like to introduce our next guest, Dr. Irena Creed. Dr. Irena Creed is a professor at the University of Saskatchewan School of Environment and Sustainability, also known as SENS. She's also the university's Associate VP of Research and Special Advisor to the President on Sustainability. She also holds adjunct positions at Western University and the United Nations University Institution for Water, Environment and Health. As an ecosystem scientist, Dr. Creed's research interests include planetary health, climate change, ecology, hydrology, biogeochemistry, sustainability, communities at risk, and the science policy interface. She has researched environmental issues across Africa, Asia, Europe, and North America. Dr. Creed has co-authored 6 national and international reports and 150 peer-reviewed publications. She has contributed to 2 international peer-reviewed reports on the state of science and has delivered over 40 invited plenary and keynote addresses in the last 5 years alone. In 2019, Dr. Creed was inducted as a Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada. The following year, she was awarded the Royal Society of Canada's Bancroft Award, honoring outstanding contributions to earth sciences. To present the University of Saskatchewan's sustainability strategy and moderate the next thematic session, please welcome Dr. Irena Creed.
Well, it is my pleasure to share with you our university's position on sustainability, in hopes that it will inspire activities in other institutions and organizations around the world. A vision for a new wave of universities is emerging, and this vision combines world-class research enterprises with broad accessibility to learners to effect a shift in social outcomes towards greater equality and equity. Design aspirations for this new wave of universities forms the basis for a strategy that describes a critical path to sustainability for the University of Saskatchewan. On January 28th, our University Council voted to adopt a strategy that will guide our sustainability actions for the next decade. This is the first of 3 governing bodies to adopt the strategy, with adoptions by the Senate and the Board of Governors expected by spring. With only 10 years remaining before the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development deadline, in the words of our president, Peter Stoichev, the university needs to be unapologetically ambitious and appropriately impatient in our actions on the SDGs. Over the past years, members of the university community, including administrators, faculty, staff, and students, came together to identify the many initiatives already underway under campus, to scope out areas of improvement or areas where actions are needed, and to forge ahead with a cohesive strategy that defines our critical path to sustainability. Here I present our strategy, which is framed around 5 commitments, 5 goals, and 17 actions to achieve the SDGs. This strategy will need a whole of university response and passionate, energetic, and committed citizens. But when this happens, we'll be unstoppable as an institution in our pursuit of achieving the SDGs. Our first commitment is to become more responsive, to influence and be influenced by our social, economic, environmental, and cultural settings, so as to be better situated to create, mobilize, and share sustainability solutions. Our goal is to be an engaged university that works in a coordinated and innovative way with the public to achieve the SDGs. Universities are motivating centers of teaching and learning, discovery, innovation, and entrepreneurial activity. And by building bridges to our city, our province, and our country, we can drive the sustainability transitions that are needed. We have started to build these bridges so that external partners can easily and effectively engage with the university community, as well as offer new perspectives and opportunities to together drive shared action on the SDGs. And we are building on existing strengths and exploring new strategic pathways to achieve greater benefits for society. Our second commitment is to foster an entrepreneurial campus spirit and to utilize the campus operations and community as a living laboratory to pilot and then diffuse and scale sustainability solutions. Our goal is to reduce USASK's greenhouse gas emissions 45% from their 2010 levels by 2030 and to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. This goal is in keeping with the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's science-based targets to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial norm. We face the same need as everyone else to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. However, our strength lies in our ability to leverage our place and the power of cutting-edge discoveries to do our part to support the energy solutions that are needed for a more just and equitable future. In deploying our resources in service of our core mission, that of generating new and meaningful knowledge, we can serve as living laboratories for setting priorities and designing and implementing climate solutions that can be adopted and adapted elsewhere. Our third commitment is to support a generation of learners and achievers to shift mindsets and expand skill sets to accelerate action to achieve the SDGs. A great opportunity exists for universities to mobilize new forms of teaching and learning directed toward action on the SDGs. And with an aging and changing population, Canada is uniquely situated to take advantage of this opportunity to re-examine how higher learning engages with students. Our goal is to create new forms of teaching and learning that will help facilitate shifts in values, that is, ways of relating to one another in the world, shifts in mindsets, the forms of understanding, and shifts in skill sets, the modes of action to enable sustainability. Together, we will create a generation of learners and achievers to be, as the Honorable Judge David Arno shared with us this morning, active citizens that are enlightened, engaged, empathetic, ethical, and empowered. Our fourth commitment is to bring together the campus community to create knowledge focused on designing and implementing workable solutions to sustainability challenges. We will seamlessly integrate learning, discovery, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and thereby put our knowledges to work to achieve the SDGs. Where divergent thinking explores possibilities, convergent thinking is deciding what to do. We are creating pathways that start with divergent thinking, but ends with convergent thinking. For example, we have designated 6 signature areas to addressing the world's most pressing and challenging problems. For over a decade, these signature areas have shaped and guided institutional efforts and investments. Implicit in the choice of our signature areas was the understanding that meeting contemporary challenges must involve supporting a convergence of disciplines, whereby different disciplines cooperate to integrate their various bodies of knowledge, and whereby novel frameworks are formed to catalyze discovery and innovation. We are similarly making progress on the SDGs through a convergent response, creating opportunities for every member of the campus community to explore the relevance of the SDGs in their work. This will include instructors who create active learning environments, discoverers working in use-inspired basic research, entrepreneurs who can move these discoveries into action, artists who will translate discoveries into forms that inspire communities to act, capacity builders who empower communities to act, and finally, outstanding leaders capable of making national and global impact. All knowledge thus attained will be put to work to achieve the SDGs. Finally, our fifth commitment is to make sustainability personally relevant and to inspire and be agents of positive change for local communities and the world. Our goal is to tap into the global pool of knowledge to spur innovation on the SDGs. This approach will require new forms of connecting spaces where competing worldviews can converge and a cooperative spirit can emerge that will create, In the words of the Indigenous scholar Willie Ermine, new currents of thought that flow in different directions and overrun the old ways of thinking. This approach will also require new forms of and unprecedented levels of collaboration, in which the focus is on outcomes that benefit society and enhance society's capacity to act. Global dialogue will be an important tool for informing sustainability actions and translating lessons learned into policies, programs, and practices that can be disseminated and scaled up, enabling global learning for all. By engaging in a meaningful global dialogue, we'll be able to learn from one another, support each other, and chart a path for a more ambitious action to achieve the SDGs. In conclusions, universities have a pivotal role to play in achieving the SDGs because they're positioned to contribute courageous leadership and inspiring thinking. However, to take on this role, they must be unapologetically ambitious and appropriately impatient as they move forward on the SDGs, paving a path toward a resilient future for all. Thank you for allowing me to present the university's sustainability strategy.